Saturday night on NBC, Todd Blackledge, Noah Eagle, your Illinois Fighting Illini against the Indiana Hoosiers. Indiana at home, a 4.5 point favorite, Dan. Very quietly, the game of the day.
Agree.
Very quietly. Number 9, Illinois on the road. Number 19, Indiana. I called this one out back at the beginning of August, dog. I said this was potentially a play-in game for the playoff.
Sure.
Let me repeat something that may be obvious only to us. I don't know. Should be obvious to you if you're listening at home. These are two legitimately good teams.
We think?
I know.
Okay.
And that's a full stop moment.
Okay.
I get that we are not used to having this discussion about Illinois and Indiana, but that's just where we're at in the year of our Lord 2025.
Okay.
Illinois, Indiana, these are two good teams.
That first half
Both
against Western Michigan get you going for Illinois?
Shut up.
Come on, make your hair on the
Where's
back
my
of your
thing?
neck stand
Where's it
up.
at?
Not talking about this.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Ooh, spicy.
I'm having a moment over here. Shut
hey,
up.
ladies. Yeah.
Both teams 3-0. Indiana's toughest opponent, it says here, Old Dominion back in week 1.
Sure.
Old Dominion recently beat Virginia Tech.
Correct.
Put Brett
Again.
out of his misery, mind you.
Yeah.
Again, yes. And Illinois had the win 2 weeks ago against Duke that I think opened some eyes with how they closed that one out. But to your point, yes. In both cases, kind of hard to know what any of these early numbers mean. If you can trust them, given the opponents. Yes, they're opponent adjusted, but who cares? There are a couple things that I'm seeing that point to Illinois, but I will defer to you for right now. Where are you at here?
I'm leaning Indiana. It's at home. Indiana hasn't shown anything against anyone this season, but they've covered spreads under Curt Cignetti. Like,
Yes,
they've
they
been
have.
that murder machine.
Yes.
The game is at home. Illinois last year, if you are high on Indiana as a legit team, right? If you're high on Indiana as a legit team, Illinois doesn't beat those teams. Like a legit playoff conversation team. Illinois doesn't perform at all against those teams, or hasn't lately.
Right.
Or maybe ever. I think Indiana's better in this moment. I like the ceiling of this offense with Fernando Mendoza a little bit more. I like the relentlessness with which Indiana has played under Curt Cignetti a little bit more. Like, there's just this constant sense of urgency against teams either built similarly or lesser, which Illinois has done a really good job building out this roster. I like a lot of parts of this Illinois team. I think you need to score points if you're going to beat Indiana. I think you need to score 30 points if you're going to beat Indiana. And in terms of what Illinois is offering me outside, Hank Beatty's had a nice connection with Luke Altmaier. I just think Indiana is a better team or a better program at its best right now. I think. Again, you've highlighted the opponents. There's not much to go on. But I think Fernando Mendoza is a legit good quarterback, as do I think Luke Altmaier is a legit good quarterback. But if you're giving me Curt Cignetti as a favorite at home, Indiana has just performed in these spots more. Illinois is legit good. But I want to know where that pop is. I want to know where that winter wonder is from Illinois. And to me, it's not obvious in a spot like this. That's why I'm going Indiana here. What's the line?
4.5 at time of recording on Monday afternoon.
Yeah, 31-24, 31-20, somewhere in there. Hey, real quick, it'd be great if you could consider subscribing to the YouTube channel down below. It really helps us out.
By the way, if I could draft a quick fantasy thing here.
Please.
I'd like to draft a frosty post-game handshake between
I think that's
Bret
a no-brainer.
Bielema
Yeah.
and Curt Cignetti. Bielema, ever the troll. Cignetti definitely does not appreciate trolls.
Right.
I could see that happening here. Okay. Here are the two things that I fixated on when trying to figure out this game.
Okay.
The first thing is that, at least right now, and for whatever you think of numbers this early in the year, Indiana outside the top 100 in rushing yards allowed before contact. Again, numbers being what they are right now after week 3, I don't know if they mean a whole lot, but given the competition, the fact that they're outside the top 100, against that field, to me, is, I think, a little bit concerning.
Okay.
Because that's usually a pretty good indicator for how good of a run-stopping unit you've got. Right now, I believe they're also dead last in yards per successful rush. So it's a more nuanced look at yards per carry, granted, but this is all a very long way of saying, if you gave Bret Bielema truth serum and you said, hey, do you want to run the ball 50 times and win?
Yeah.
There's
like
100% chance, 1,000% chance that Bret Bielema is going to answer you with a hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. That's his default mode. So I'm looking for a big game on the ground from Illinois in this one. Mix of Caden Fegan and Khalil Valentine and Luke Altmaier. They'll find some way somehow to make that work. But Illinois as a running team so far this year has been fine. I think this is one of those Bielema tendencies that we've seen in the past that we're going to see a lot in a big game here.
Okay.
If he can run it and win, he's going to want to do that. The second thing is that Indiana has not blitzed at all. In their first 3 games, they're not blitzing. They're getting pressure, maybe because of who they're playing. But they are not blitzing. When they're not converting the pressure into sacks, which I think is something that we might see on display in this Illinois game, we're finding that receivers have a little bit more tendency to get down the field and get open for longer completions. One way or another, whether they're blitzing or not in this game against Illinois, I think this is potentially something that works to the Illini's advantage. If you are getting pressure, especially against a guy like Luke Altmaier, you got to find ways to turn that into sacks. Otherwise, you give him a chance. He is definitely the kind of guy who can extend plays and work down the field. And they've got good enough receivers to work down the field and create some of those chunk plays. I think we're due. You mentioned Hank Beatty earlier. I think we are due for a game break by him out wide in one of those moments where maybe they get pressure on Altmaier. He extends the play. He finds a way to create something down the field. Those are the types of chunk plays that hurt Indiana in a game like this.
Okay.
Now, I have learned that you don't want to underestimate Curt Cignetti. And this is still, I think, a really good Indiana team, an Indiana team that I like a lot. I share your admiration for Fernando Mendoza. I love the guy.
Yeah.
I just don't think it clicks as well against a really good team in Illinois. I've got Illinois winning this one 31-24 on the road.
Illinois winning it by what I said Indiana would win it by. Okay, so I like the very specific way in which we disagree.
We do disagree.
Okay.
I also think Illinois is going to blitz the crap out of them in this game.
And hope it looks like what Ohio State did last year? Okay.
I think they're going to blitz the ever-loving crap out of Fernando Mendoza.
Okay.
I think that is the template here. They're going to try to run to win. They're going to get a couple big plays when everything else breaks down, and they're going to force Fernando Mendoza into some tough spots.
Okay.
31-24.
We disagree. Okay. Fair enough.